Alright, hello, this is Pelorian. I got an idea from a mod downloader, I guess you could say, to cover the mod that I had patched here just earlier today as of the making of this video, or it might be yesterday. So I figure I'll give it a quick cover. So this one is the mod I patched it's called Home Unimprovement by Whiskey Tango Fox. It's one of the mods that he uses in one of the profiles of Life in the Ruins, which, by the way, is an amazing Wabbajack mod list if you like a bit of survival, tons of guns, green overhauled environment, all that. But this is not an endorsement for his, just saying. Basically, it kind of slims down severely the settlement. So for people like me that don't really get into settlement building much and want a real more, I guess you could say, somewhat hardcore survival, it works good. So I'm going to show you that. And the patch that I made basically is a patch that adds in Fading Signal's new Barrel Bonanza mod that adds in like 15 new barrels. You can actually see them up in front, because in this mod there's only one fire barrel, so this adds an option for more, just balanced around his mod. And then while I'm at it, I got Feast and Famine in the list, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you Feast and Famine as two suggested more interesting survival based food and settlements. So I'm just going to take a look in here, really nothing fancy to show, so I'm just going to record it as I play it and tell you guys how it is. So let's go ahead and do Feast and Famine first, because we're here. I don't have meat for it, but it really changes up how it works. I'll even try to open up the Nexus page at the end of this, and I'm going to go over both mods and just kind of break down some of the changes. But firstly, there is no purified water. Or, not in here. I don't know why he keeps doing that. Hold on. Nate, you gotta be a bugger. I might have put it too close to the post. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So it's bugging out. Sorry, this is what you get with real recorded video. I edit my videos, but I don't. Like, I try to keep them real. Okay, so basically one of the things I remember, he's talking about water. There is no such thing anymore as dirty water. It's just water. As you can see under beverage. Actually, it's not in there. But yeah, they have water for, let me see. Yeah, water. It's no longer dirty water, it's just water, but it's only used for cooking and crafting. You don't drink this. It's not drinkable. And purified water is only available in the actual Commonwealth, like loot. So it's a pre-war thing. So in other words, you don't make purified water anymore with Feast and Famine. You only find purified water. Otherwise, you find water, which you use for cooking, crafting, and other things like that. So, and then he also breaks down that you don't get meat from anything that tries to kill you. So no mirelurks. You can get mirelurk meat from hatchlings, but no mirelurks, no death claws. No, if it tries to kill you, if it can kill you, it's not in here. So it really narrows down, but he really makes it interesting. So I'm going to show you. So you got beverage, you got the Dirty Wastelander, Mute Fruit, Nuka-Cola, whiskey, all that. Brahmin. You have bloody Brahmin sucker, Brahmin steaks, and double bourbon ribs. And then I'll go over some of the stuff and stats on these after I'm done. So chicken, you got chicken darter, chicken noodle soup, and grilled chicken. And yes, they also have recipes for eggs, boiled eggs, eggs Corvega, and old world omelet. So he said if you find the chicken and the eggs in the Far Harbor, I believe it is, like the expansions. But he did say, because he uses unique creatures mod in the Life in the Ruins, and he also uses a forest, which apparently a forest brings in a lot of the plants from like Far Harbor and that, and then unique creatures brings in the chicken and that. So if you don't plan to use unique creatures and a forest, then there is a mod by, I believe it's Zorkov, that adds in like the plants from Far Harbor into the Commonwealth. And then there is also one that somebody else has. I may have to see if I can remember to link it up. If I don't, you can look it up. That adds in creatures from the DLC eras, but I don't think it adds in chickens, now that I remember. I'm trying to remember. There's one I found where you can add chickens in, so I just have to find a way to add the chickens in the game so you can get it. But yeah, otherwise you just gotta wait till Far Harbor in order to get chicken and egg stuff, unless you buy it from a vendor. Iguana, you got the iguana stick, iguana soup, iguana stinger, Meyerlurks from Hatchling, you got harbor chowder, Meyerlurk cake, Meyerlurk on the shell, and Nuka Lurk. Rabbits, you got roast rabbit, seasoned rabbit skewers, squirrel, crispy squirrel bed sturdy, squirrel stew. Stag, you have grilled rad stag provisioners, and vegetable, you even have vegetarian stuff. You have baked potato, grilled corn, razor bread, roast gourd, and vegetable soup. And interesting on these is the way that they're handled is you, by cooking the food, you no longer lose the rads on the food. You get the total combined rads of the item, so you still get the rads, but when you cook it, I guess, and you get the rads, it comes in like a damage over time effect. So instead of getting all 20 at once, it'll like slowly add rads to you over a period, so it's easier to kind of take it off. It doesn't just hit you. And some of them don't have extras, like just plus 25 max HP, plus 15 damage resistance. Some of them do, some of them don't. See, these are just for basically, you get healed 1 second for 1 health per second for 1 minute 8 seconds. So that would give you 68 health, but you get 3.33, so like 3 1/3 rads for 3 seconds, so you really get 10 rads total. I'm trying to think of this because I got Damn Apocalypse installed on here too, so that might be where the IRA that ingested rads. But yeah, so basically, yeah, it's pretty cool. It adds in, it changes the recipes up, it organizes them a little different. It's a little bit more condensed, but I kind of like it. And yeah, you can't make purified water anymore. You basically have to find it. So I think that's cool. Adds a little bit more scarcity to the world. And then for the one that I made, the patch 4. So when you come into your crafting, you'll notice there's not a lot of stuff here. So first one here is you have Wasteland Camping. You have the camping here, so you click that, comes up with beds. Your bed is a mattress that's on the floor or a sleeping bag. The thing is, you need to have a sleeping bag or a mattress in order to get that. And from what he had said on one of the posts on the page for this mod, Home Unimprovement, is that you have to either find a place where you can scrap a bed that has a mattress, which isn't exactly easiest to find, or scrap a like pick it up at the settlement, a sleeping bag. As far as I'm aware, you can't just like go out in the world and pick up a sleeping bag or mattress, because I tried that. So it's kind of, it's a more rough start. But what he did is he patched, there's a mod called Sofa Surfer where you can sleep on sofas. So what it is, he made a patch for it. He suggested it, I suggested it. You can come to the couch, you hit R, you can come up and you can sleep on the couch. So sleep for 1 hour, just voila. You can sleep on the couch. So all you gotta do is find a couch or in the settlement like this, and you have somewhere to sleep until you can find yourself a mattress or sleeping bag. So it's kind of convenient, cool, and I think a better idea. But yeah, so, but this isn't a mod made for settlement. This is made for people who want it hard. So you have tents. You have 2 types of tents. Now, I don't have a cloth to show you, so I don't know exactly what they look like, but from my understanding, they're pretty simple, basic tents. There is also a patch for a mod called Makeshift Tents by, I believe it's a Zorkov. The guy I mentioned earlier about bringing the plants from the DLC in, and it adds in, like, I think it's like 8 more tents, like some big, some smaller, and it's patched for this so that you can use it with this. Decorations, you have a campfire, and then you have a fire barrel, which I'd already crafted. It's this guy here, because I don't have a flip lighter for it, but yeah, that's the fire barrel, comes with the mesh. Now what I did is I added in all these. So these are all the ones from Barrel Bonanza, so you have more variety and options for it. But what I did is I patched it so that not only are they in here, but they also have the same things for building. So basically when you're building it, you need the 1 oil, 5 steel, 14 wood, and 1 flip lighter, which makes sense. Oil to get it lit, lighter to light the oil. You need the steel for the barrel, and the wood is 14. So his was like 2 steel and 4 wood to make it. So I'm like, well, that's too easy for this mod. So I balanced it by just making the same stats. So it takes a bit, but that's where I got these. So I made the Vault-Tec barrel, that teal barrel, Poseidon oil, and just this rusty guy. So look nice barrels. Definitely add more options. They don't, to me, imbalance the game because they're just adding options. So I thought it was cool because I'm working on a possible Wabbajack mod list myself based around Dam Apocalypse here in the near future. If I get it up, I'll definitely post it up, let you guys know, and show you some stuff, but working out slowly. But this is I'm planning on using this Home Unimprovement. That's why I made this mod as one of my first mods starting towards that. Also, I'm probably going to be using Feast and Famine. So if I can get that patched, because I'm going to use the S7 perks, so I want to make it more of a survival type, scarcity type mod list. So it won't have a ton of weapons. It'll have some extra added in. It's going to be more concise, and it'll slowly build up because I have to balance everything, patch everything. It's going to be really crazy. Okay, so back to this. Sorry. Crops. Crops, you have carrots, corn. I guess 2 types of corn. I don't know why it's 2 types of corn. Gourds, melons, mute fruit, razor grain. Well, 2 razor grains. Maybe it's like wild and regular. I don't know. And then you have your potatoes. So real small on the crops. Not a whole bunch of stuff. Crafting stations. You have all your regular, you have your armor, power armor, weapons, chemist, and cooking. Now these you click, so like armors only has 1. I think power armor has 1. The weapons, you got the 2 different versions. Chemist and cooking. Chemist, you have the 2 different versions, and then cooking, you have the kind there, the rotisserie, and the stove. So those are still in there. Now you'll see they do take a bit. Steel, 4 steel. For the stove, it's 4 steel, 3 gears, 2 wood, 2 screws, 1 pot and pan, 1 flip lighter, 1 machete. So he tries to be a little bit more immersive and realistic with the requirements, but also make it so it's not so easy to just come out of the vault and start building Scrap Sanctuary and build yourself like every single thing. So storage, he only has 1 type of container. It's one of these. That's it. Just a worn wooden box. That's it. Which is fine. He's trying to make it slim, so I get it. Mechanical, you have generators. You have small, medium, large generators. Water, you have a water pump. Powered water, a water purifier. Okay, so it produces 10 water. So you can get purified water that way, but let me see what. So that takes 2 oil, 2 ceramic, 5 rubber, 2 copper, 15 steel, 2 cloth, 1 fuse, and 1 electric motor, which apparently I already got from scrapping. So you almost could get that. Nope. 2 electric. Okay. Turrets. It still allows you the turrets for defense. Wiring. You have your 4 wirings. You have lights. You have a light bulb and a string of lights. Tech. You have radio for Diamond City, classical, and then your recruitment beacon. By the way, anything that is quest related will still be in here, so don't worry about that. Settlement stations, you have guard posts. So you have the 2 kinds of guard post and tower. Scavenger, you have a scavenger station. You have your different things. You have like your clinic. Yeah, you have your first stations, like your clinic stations. Hold up. Trying to see here. Okay, first aid stations, clinic, surgery center, shops. So yeah, you have trader, armor, weapons. So yeah, you can still build those up eventually. Though you see it takes like local leader 2 and rank 2 a cap collector. So it's not the easiest thing to really. Okay, so you need local leader rank 2 minimum, it looks like, in order to get some of them. So they really make you have to really invest more into shops, but I think it's pretty cool if you're looking for that kind of gameplay, something that gives you more less settlement stuff. Like, it doesn't actually require you to build, like it doesn't give you the options to build buildings and patch things. It's basically like, hey, with the patch, here's a couch, I need a mattress, a sleeping bag. It doesn't really give you anything. So if you want a bed, you have to find a bed at a settlement and basically use that. So to me, it's a bit more realistic because it's kind of not so realistic. You just come out of the vault and after 200 and whatever years, you're just able to suddenly start crafting entire settlements with almost no knowledge, buildings, beds, and everything. Just like, I like the idea that, and plus, I'm one of the people, maybe one of the few that's not really as into settlements. So for me, it's not as big a deal. I'll be patching some other things in, like I'm going to have America, or not America, it's getting late. Okay, so I'm going to have UN One Army 2 in there, which adds in a Minutemen Tower, Minutemen bunks, and Minutemen, like a little guard thing, so I'll have to patch those in. But basically, there'll be certain things from mods that I might patch in, or I'm going to look for some other patches that I could patch in, like something that has a hot stove as a way to cook, things like that. So it's not super difficult to patch. Honestly, the way I figure it out, and if you want to do it, just go look at it. Either look at my patch and how I did it, or look at one of the other ones he made. I look at makeshift tents, figure it out from there how to do it. It's not really hard. You just got to look into it. But yeah, so that's kind of what it is. Figure maybe you guys might want to check it out, put it up for the guy. Can't remember his name right now, but to see. And yeah, now you can see it more at night, kind of. These ones don't really glow because they're full barrels, but you get a nice lighting effect off this. So then you can, there we go, carry it in, have yourself a nice thing. So yeah, so I think it's pretty cool. Like I said, if you like that scarcity and not having everything given to you, not having a lot of options and having to build up settlements. Also, one real quick I would suggest with it too is Rebuild. The Rebuild series by, I believe it's Orleanis is how you pronounce it. Basically, there's two packs, two main ones and a DLC. And basically, when you go into a settlement area, it allows you to, after you've scrapped all the stuff, you can go into these certain spots like a piece of wood or click it and it'll rebuild the main building. And so what happens is then it's like an actual building. It's not broken or have a hole in it. And then I could take and move some of this stuff in the settlement around it and in it and things like that. So I think that might not be bad because you get the building, you can fix it up. You might even be able to, as you're doing your settlement stuff, you could then take chairs and stuff from that area. Instead of scrapping it, you could put it into the inventory, then put it up around there if you got a bed. So there's ways around it, but it's basically making you that you either have to find it in the environment or you have to go without. So yeah, that's what it's about. Now I'm rambling, so I'm gonna let you guys go. But yeah, this is Pylorian checking out on this one, and I will catch you guys later.